Hey everyone, welcome back to Cosmic Life Astrology. Today we are diving deep into the week of June 3rd through the 10th, and we are going to have a major Venus focus for the next week and for the next moon cycle ahead. We are looking at Venus Cazimi this week, as well as a new moon conjuncting Venus. So Venus is a strong influence and is going to help bring beauty all around us. We start out the week on Monday with the Venus Cazimi, the sun. This is going to be a fresh new revamp of the Venus energy, a strengthening of Venus energy. So everything that Venus likes to focus on, whether it's love, money, creative projects, you know, the environment that you surround yourself in, the music you listen to, the art you create. You know, we're talking about Gemini, so we're also talking about our social life. You know, you could be socializing with more feminine energies, right? We, at the same time, will see Mercury enter Gemini and be greeted by Jupiter in Gemini. So Mercury is going to enter Gemini on Monday and essentially approach a conjunction to Jupiter, as well as approach a trine to Pluto. It will be exact on Tuesday, but the energy is there and it is building. With this in play, we're looking at a possibility to change perspectives, to really inspire some new faith and hope, and have a more positive mindset. You know, when I looked at the chart for, you know, the next few weeks ahead, I noticed that Venus will remain within, you know, about 5 degrees of the sun the whole time that Mercury will be transiting Gemini until June 17th. And next week, we will see Mercury catch up to Venus and the sun. So the three of them will be very close together next week. And I'll talk about that next week when I make the video. But for now, I do want to say that Venus is going to really have a strong influence on us during this Gemini season, especially. We will have a lot of focus on refining, you know, all the Venusian energies that everyone knows about, and to try to make things more beautiful in our life, whether it's within yourself, you know, whether you're revamping your looks, or, you know, revamping your social circle, your, you know, maybe travel plans, or if you're out there dating, you could be looking at multiple options. You know, Venus and Gemini, I just want to say, if you're single and ready to mingle, this is definitely an opportunity to, you know, consider different options. Use the time that Mercury is in Gemini to collect data on any potential partners. When Mercury goes into Cancer and when we start getting into Cancer season, that's when you'll really be able to see where your emotions lie and where your heart is leading you. But for now, have fun with this, be social, you know, communicate and get to know people, be that social butterfly that Venus likes to be in Gemini, and really embrace, you know, whatever comes your way. Take a very lighthearted approach. This is what Venus really, really endures during its transit in Gemini. So getting back to the week, on Tuesday, we will see that Mercury conjunct Jupiter exact, as well as the Mercury trine Pluto. So we're looking at, you know, a lot of conversations, a lot of information that may be coming to you. There could be conversations about maybe travel plans, because we're talking about Jupiter, the adventurer. But this could be a very optimistic energy that helps facilitate some lightheartedness to your conversations and positive interactions. And with that trine to Pluto, you could be having some deep conversations that bring a change of perspective, or help facilitate a more positive mindset. You know, Jupiter likes to have faith and hope and optimistic energy. So, that combination will help facilitate whatever changes or, deep thoughts or, conversations that you're having. It will be very beneficial. And the fact that it's happening right before the new moon, I think it's going to help facilitate whatever that new cycle is going to be for you during the Gemini new moon. And I think that will be a good way to really hone in on what you're focusing on, and have that confidence to pursue what it is that you're starting during this new moon cycle. Now, on Wednesday, we will see Mars approaching a semi-sextile to Neptune. This will be exact, I believe it's Friday night. However, the energy plays out throughout the week, and I wanted to mention it because Mars is going to be at an anaretic degree in Aries, about to leave its home sign, and Neptune is also at an anaretic degree in its home sign. And with the semi-sextile, it's like something that you may not see coming. It may surprise you. Sextiles are very harmonious connections that you have support for. But with a semi-sextile, it's like something that you do have support for, but you may not have expected it. So it's very important to be intentional about the actions that you're taking. With both at anaretic degrees. This could be something that is culminating during this time, maybe a passion project. We're talking about Aries energy, and as well as, Neptune, which is all about, our visions and what we're trying to create, the things that we want to put essentially pen to paper. We want to manifest it into reality, right? So on Thursday, we have the new moon in Gemini happening at 16 degrees of Gemini, and Venus is going to conjunct the new moon. So Venus had a rebirth with the sun on Monday, and now she's having a rebirth with the new moon cycle that starts on Thursday. So I think this is a really strong indication that, the Venusian energies will not only be strong this week, but will be strong for the month ahead during this new moon cycle until the next new moon. And with this, there is a lot of benefic support with Venus conjuncting the new moon. You could see that during this time, a lot of options are available to you, and you may need to be considerate towards what it is that you're entertaining. And I say that because there's two potential challenges to this new moon, but they serve a purpose. Challenge one is we have Saturn making a square to the new moon. So Saturn is in Pisces. Saturn is, the planet that wants you to do the work, stay grounded, stay focused. This could have to do with authority figures or male figures in your life. There could be a need to compromise or some tension with authority or male figures, or just some challenge that comes along with this new moon energy. You may want to be more social. You may want to date multiple people, but you're being told to kind of rein it back a little bit or to focus on work. You can't have all play and, not focus on your work. You have to balance the two. And we also see a square to Juno and Virgo, which is another indication that we're going to have to, balance our commitments and where we're putting our focus, because Juno is all about commitment. And, with that Juno and Virgo and Saturn influence, we're talking about groundedness and structure and stability. So I think with a lot of the Gemini energy that we have at play right now, this is very much needed, having that square to Juno and Virgo and to Saturn. It's forcing us to kind of, not get too flighty and too ahead of ourselves, not to take on too much, to, focus our energy And, you know, you can't party all day and be able to pay the bills. Okay. You have to be able to get work done and take care of responsibilities. And then you can party after it's done. That's the kind of message that I feel with this energy. I do want to say, on a positive note, the new moon is going to sextile the north node in Aries and make a trine to the south node in Libra. So this has to do with ourself and our relationships. These are both beneficial connections. And so with the new moon making this kind of connection to the nodes, I feel like this is a new direction that we're going. You have a new moon making a connection to the nodes of fate. This is a strong indication that this is something new coming in. And with Venus conjuncting the new moon, it is going to be positive and beneficial. So I really feel good about this new moon. Just, you know, stay mindful of your responsibilities and what you got to get done. And I think, you know, this will be a very, very beneficial new moon cycle for the month ahead until we get to the new moon in Cancer. So moving on to the end of the week, we have on Friday, Mercury making a half square to Chiron. And I bring this up because, you know, squares are challenges and tension and, you know, a need for compromise or change. A half a square is something that's not as intense as a full square, but it is something that's triggering. So with Mercury making that kind of connection to Chiron, I feel like there could be something that triggers maybe an old wound, or, you know, maybe hurts our ego a little bit because we're talking about Chiron and Aries. So it could be, you know, ego, or, you know, something that hurt you in the past, maybe some communication that, you know, scares you a little bit, you know, makes you feel like, ooh, am I going to get hurt again? But it is passing energy. So, you know, make note of it, be mindful. We also see on Friday night that the Mars semi-sextile Neptune perfects. So this could be, you know, a culmination of a passion project. You know, don't get caught up in delusions during this time. Saturday, we will see Venus in Gemini make a square to Saturn in Pisces. And this is going to require some compromise, some need for, you know, for change. There may be some tension, you know, when we're talking about flighty, you know, lighthearted Venus in Gemini making a square to Saturn in Pisces, which is, you know, more serious. You may, you know, need to look at what you're valuing, but be mindful not to compromise your own value in the process. And later in the evening, we will see the moon in Cancer make a trine to Saturn in Pisces. So, you know, I think that's why we need to look at our values, because the Cancer moon can have us feeling a lot of emotions and very deep emotions. And with that trine to Saturn in Pisces, another water sign, this could be very dreamy, emotional energy. And with Venus squaring Saturn in the process, it's like that dreamy emotional energy needs to be grounded. We need, you know, there may be a little bit of tension in the air. You know, if you're, say you're on a date with someone, you know, it could be a blind date, and you feel this instant connection, and you know, you're like, oh my God, I think I just met my soulmate. That square to Saturn will say, wait a minute, you just met the guy or girl, whatever. Let's rein it back a little bit. You still have to get to know each other better. You know, don't get too ahead of yourself. This is the kind of energy that I'm feeling with this connection. And we see, thankfully, Mars entering Taurus at the same time. And Mars in Taurus is going to make us be more strategic, and take a slow, steady approach towards our passions and our actions that we're taking. You know, Mars in Taurus can be stubborn about what we desire and what we want, but it does know to take a slow, steady approach to what it's pursuing. And that's very much needed with all this dreamy, you know, watery energy for the day. Then on Sunday, we have Mercury in Gemini make a square to Juno in Virgo. And again, we're seeing some challenge with our commitments, The Cancer moon is also trining Neptune and Pisces, so we may feel like we need to be a homebody and need to retreat and rest and relax and just kind of be with ourselves and honor our own needs. With the sun in Gemini, it's going to make a square to Saturn in Pisces, and this could be what's triggering that need to retreat. The sun squaring Saturn could be, it could bring some doubt. It could bring, a question of our confidence. It could make you feel like maybe you don't know which way to go. You may feel a little stuck or disconnected, or you just may be feeling tested in some way. So honor that if that comes up for you. Take that time for yourself to just, retreat and really reflect on what it is that's true for you during this time, because that could be, a very intense energy playing out. And later in the evening on Sunday, we will see the moon move into Leo, and it will make an opposition to Pluto and Aquarius, which will, again, bring some possibility of power and emotion struggle. However, they will, the moon in Leo will make a sextile with Jupiter in Gemini, and that will bring us the wisdom that we need to navigate whatever comes up Sunday evening. Jupiter is going to have that optimistic and like all-knowing, wise energy to say, you know what, this may be intense, you may be feeling some power struggle, but there's a way that we can navigate this. So all in all, we have a very fun energy ahead of us. I really love Venus in Gemini because it is very lighthearted. It's very social. This is a great time to connect with other people. And we do have some energy that's helping us ground and focus on what we need to get done. This way, we don't get ourselves in trouble by, just focusing on having fun and not getting the work done that we need to get done. And with the new moon in Gemini, I really love the conjunction of Venus, because this is something you don't see a lot, and I think this is going to bring, a new beginning with relationships, a new beginning with finances, new passion projects or creative projects. Some people may be undergoing new makeovers, or there's just this very soft newness, and it seems like a very fun energy. I really love it. I feel good about it. And I hope you guys have a great week, and please feel free to comment and tell me how this is playing out for you, how you're feeling this energy as the week goes on. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, and I will be back every week with more videos. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.